Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Oh, Alex. So many years. So much pain. You can't even know, or how can either of us feel the same? The world isn't that way.
No one
allows us.
No one knows more about the world than I do. It allows whatever that we're strong enough and we're brave enough to do. What? This yacht. This place where we first met.
I know. I recognized it.
We can repeal the years. Take away those times when we were away from one another. Say it never existed. This is where we were when we loved each other so much. And down below in the cabin is that breakfast we never had. Please. Come with me, my darling. Now is our time. This time belongs to us.
If I could have Iris, this is what I would have offered you. Anything less would have been inadequate.
It's lovely, Alex.
The bounty of the earth, all the good things in life. This is the breakfast we missed, the one I should have been able to give you. Will you share it with me now?
Oh, Alex. If only you had stayed with me. The plainest bread would have been a feast. But now it's too late. I have no appetite.
Iris.
No, Alex. It's been too long.
Iris, listen. Listen. The music. You recognize it?
Of course. How could I forget? Every band, every radio, everywhere we went, they were all playing that song
when we met. When we fell in love. I can't think of those 3 days with you without hearing it. In all my coldest and loneliest moments, I've played that song. It was like the first green shoots of spring in the midst of an endless winter.
Did you? And I thought only I remembered.
Then you haven't forgotten.
How could I forget? During all the long, empty years when my memory was all I had to sustain me. Like bitter wine that burned me as I thirsted for it. How could I forget? You abandoned me. When you left me, Alex, you knew where you were going. You knew how to fill all the empty hours in your pursuit of all this.
Iris, it was for you.
Was it? You say so. Did you ever pause even for an instant on your way to the top and think, what does Iris feel?
Every moment. Every instant, all I could think of was you.
Oh, no, Alex. That couldn't have been. Or you would have realized what you'd done to me. You would have never come back into my life.
When I saw you at the opera, if you'd been happy, if I could have seen that, I would have slipped away. You would never have known.
You would have disappeared again?
Iris.
No, Alex. You've had your say. You've told me why you left, what you did all those long years. Well, I've dreamed of this moment, too, but for a different reason. Oh, how I have hated you sometimes. How I've longed to stand in front of you to tell you what you did to me, what your leaving made of my life.
Even then, you thought of me.
Well, there were times when I couldn't think of anything else. When I wanted to scream, why, Alex? Why did you desert me? Why did you reject me?
No, darling, I never rejected you. I carried you in my heart, always.
And how did you expect me to know that? Oh, Alex, when I fell in love with you, it was the first time. I didn't know any better then. I thought that love meant giving yourself completely.
I did. And I did. Completely.
Did you? And where were you? Where were you when I woke up the next morning and turned to you and there was nothing?
I had to go back to my tinker.
I couldn't believe you were gone. I called your room and they said you had checked out, left. Without me. I felt as though my world had cracked open.
Darling, believe me, if there'd been any other way,
I was frantic. I told myself, no, he can't leave me. He loves me. As I love him. I ran through the streets like a mad woman. People stared at me, but I didn't care. All I could think was, he must be here. He must be here. I ran all the way to the harbor, to the yacht. This yacht. And when you weren't there, I walked in a daze.
with you.
What?
When I left, on the tanker, I looked back one last time. Looked back and saw someone, a girl, all in white, standing on the pier. I imagined it was you.
I don't remember where I walked. I don't remember very much at all about the next few days. I felt as though I had fallen into a gulf of hideous emptiness. I didn't eat. I barely slept. I dreaded the nights for the dreams that would come and the days for the people I had to talk to.
Oh, darling, I didn't think how horrible it
For
was
a
for you.
time, I thought I would never feel anything again. And then the questions came, like lightning flashes out of the void, lashing me. Why did Alex leave? He had everything, but he left you. What's wrong with you, Iris? Where is the flaw? Alex saw it. Weren't you good enough for him? Weren't you good enough?
No. I was the one who wasn't worthy. I didn't deserve your love. I couldn't claim it. Not until I was your equal.
My equal. Do you know how bitter it is to hear those words when I felt I hadn't been good enough for you? Don't you see? I opened myself to you completely. You knew me better than anyone ever had. And knowing me so well, you rejected me. What else could I think?
Thought, whatever pain you've been through, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make up for it.
No, Al. That is impossible. When you left, my life shattered. Like a mirror dropped on the floor. You can never put it together again. Never get a true image.
I can try. We can try.
I could never really love anyone. I could never piece myself back together. Whatever I gave was incomplete.
If I tried to care for someone, that memory was always present. I never gave myself or trusted anyone to give themselves. I always knew, you see, they would find my flaw. And that sooner or later, they would leave me too. Oh.
My darling. I'm so sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh.
Kevin, put some suntan oil on my back, will you? Kevin? Honey, didn't you hear me?
Yes, I heard.
Darling, it's traditional for husbands and lovers to rub oil on their women's backs. Sometimes it leads to something more interesting.
I'm sorry, Rena. I'm fresh out of interest.
Well, if your old medical journal is more fun than I am, then why don't you just
It's
go
not
back
a journal. It's not all that interesting. It's the hospital in-house magazine.
The what?
Publication put up by the hospital full of new staff arrivals, promotions, gossips, births. Deaths.
Well, if it's so boring, then why don't you pay more attention to me? Oh, darling, it's been a long time since it was just you and me. A lot of long nights and days. Just think about how much fun we could have.
Well, it was fun, Rena, until I started feeling like a kept man.
Kevin, that is
Well,
one
doesn't it
nasty
feel to you
low-
like I am bought and paid for?
If you're referring to the $1 million that Stryker gave you
Oh,
for your
come on,
clinic,
Rena,
then you
please.
just...
That was just an installment. Nobody ever said Kevin Cook came cheap.
Don't you love me anymore? Kevin, we loved each other once, remember?
Love? Yes, perhaps you're right. That's all in the past now. For you, too.
How can you love someone that hates you, huh? You do hate me, don't you? Well, why don't you admit it?
No, Rena. I don't hate you. I hate myself for what I've become.
Yes, a nasty, sniveling, nothing.
You know, I think you and Stryker have got your $1 million.
Kevin, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Why did these Stryker settle this once and for all?
Daddy. It's Rena. No, there's nothing wrong. I guess I'm just picking up a summer cold, that's all. Listen, you know, it's much too nice a day for you to be in the office working. Why don't you come over and have a drink with me? I need you. No, Daddy, I need you to help me plan the trip to the Houston Horse Show. I want to get there early so I can visit with the Marshalls. It'll be like the old times, won't it, Daddy?
Yeah, boy. I gotta get you all fancy for those pretty people at the horse show.
Thanks, Justin.
Come back over here.
You've been a great help to Max and me.
Yeah, old Justin's a natural-born horse trainer. Never saw a horse yet that could stand up to him.
Yeah. Natural born.
Shouldn't have given up horses for cars.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad that I quit racing just 2 points away from being top driver. It's too bad that Dad had to go to Alex Wheeler to beg a friend.
Just.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are just too bad, aren't there, Max? The new replaces the old. Alex Wheeler replaces Mike Marshall.
Justin, I'm sorry about Mike's death.
But what? What, you think what? We have to live our lives. We have to forget about the past. We have to forget our fathers, forget the wrong that's been done to them.
Justin, look. Hey, come on. Wait. Let me do that. You've been working too hard. Why don't you take a break now? Go on back to the house. Yeah, Kate's got a late lunch she's saved for you. Huh? Come on.
All right, Mike.
Oh, Max.
Yeah, I know, Jane, I know. It's eating him up inside. Just gotta let him go for a while. Let him, work it out, yeah. He's still mourning Mike's death.
Well, I can understand that, but it's all that bitterness, Max. It's heartbreaking to see him like this.
Yeah, it's bad, all right.
Max, it's more than that. It's frightening. I think it's a great idea, Grandma.
All right. But can you and Dennis handle an auction?
Sure. In fact, we can do an inventory, and Dawn here can write a short history of the pieces she's familiar with.
Yeah, and we can put together a catalog with pictures of the best pieces.
And I can handle the invoicing and deliveries through the Western Art Gallery.
You know, we'll need an auctioneer. I know of one who's just great.
Whoa! All right, I don't need all the details. I'll leave that up to you. And maybe Paige will lend a hand. She's finished with her important work.
Well, I am going to go out and look for a job. What I do best. Entertaining people. I see that a guest singer at one of the big Houston clubs just canceled at the last moment. So maybe if I move fast enough, I can get the spot at the Top of the World Club.
Top of the World Club. That's in Alex Wheeler's World Building, isn't it?
That's right, Jeff. Way up top. Halfway into the clouds. Maybe Alex Wheeler will float up and I'll get to meet him.
And just why would you want to do that? You know what that man did.
Well, if Wheeler is going to have all the family money, it might be nice if I could visit it occasionally.
How can you joke about losing all our money? About that man forcing our father into suicide?
Crying won't do any good, honey.
Look, Dawn, I know your father owed Alex Wheeler millions, but you can't just...
No, Dennis. Don't talk about Wheeler like he's some banker Daddy owed money to. Daddy gave him his start here in Houston. Without him, Wheeler'd have nothing.
I know that, but you...
Well, when Daddy needed help, Wheeler turned his back on him. Tell him, Justin. And you listen too, Paige. You tell him what Alex Wheeler did.
Dad went to Alex Wheeler to beg for help. Wheeler offered his Dad a job. And Dad told him what he could do with it. Wheeler threw him out of the office. But that wasn't enough. Not for Wheeler. He had to make Mike Marshall Kroll. So when Vicki Bellman tried to get them together at the party, the night Daddy killed himself, Alex Wheeler held out the cup. He said, "Sure, I'll meet with Mike." And when Dad had almost gotten his lips to the brim, Alex Wheeler left. Before Dad had even seen him. And then he went home and
I didn't know.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it isn't. But Michael shot himself, Justin. Nobody else did. And you can't change that. Not by brooding on it.
Alex Wheeler wanted to make Daddy crawl. Mike Marshall never got down on his belly for any man. Wheeler wanted to make him do it. He, just as much as any man, put that bullet through Daddy's heart. Sooner or later, I'll make him pay for it.
Well, I'd better be getting back to the television station. Hope you're feeling better tomorrow.
Thanks, honey.
Oh, Aunt Vicky, don't get up.
Oh, would you mind seeing who that is?
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Kevin.
Oh, Samantha, is Stryker in?
No, just Aunt Vicky. Kevin, would you talk to her? She isn't feeling well.
You think she needs a doctor?
Well, I don't know. She says it's just the flu, but she's drinking and well, she's acting very strangely.
Oh. Sure.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Well, now. Samantha tells me you're not feeling too well.
So, this is a house call. I haven't had one of those for years.
No, as a matter of fact, I came to see Stryker. I called his office. Hallie said he left early. I thought perhaps he'd be home by now.
Well, isn't that funny? I think he's at your place. He called and told me Rena asked him to stop over. Care to join me?
Huh? No thanks, Vic.
Well, Kevin, why don't you tell me what you wanted to talk to Stryker about?
I wanted to ask him just how much he thought $1 million would buy.
Uh-oh. I see my charming daughter is starting to make some more unreasonable demands.
She's treating me like she owns me.
Is that anything new?
No, it's always worse when we're in Houston. You know, I've been cleared of all responsibility in Sheep Sadie's death. I would like to get back to my practice in Bay City.
Let me guess, Rena's not ready to go home.
Stryker has invited her to the Houston Horse Show. Now, she wants to stay.
Oh, Kevin, why don't you go back to Bay City without her? I won't let Stryker keep her here for long.
No, thank you, Vicky, but I've already tried that. No, she insists I stay and enjoy myself. You know, that girl's going to have to learn that she can't always have exactly what she wants.
Why not? She's gotten it from Stryker since she was in diapers. Well, I'll talk to Rena myself. What good will it do?
Thank you.
So you think that you and Rena Iris will be in town for another week.
Oh, Iris has gone back to Bay City.
Iris has gone to Bay City?
Yeah, that's right.
She's gone for good?
Yes, why?
Well, this calls for a celebration.
Vicky, I really don't think you need another one of those.
Neither do I.
What is it, Vicky? What's the matter?
Kevin, I just haven't been myself since the night of Mike's suicide.
I can understand that. I know you were very close to Mike.
No, it's not just Mike, it's Alex.
Alex Wheeler?
I couldn't leave well enough alone. I had to know why he left my party without seeing Mike.
Yes, I wondered about that. Did you find anything out?
Oh, yes. Kevin, if I tell you about it, can I trust you never to repeat it? Especially not to Rena.
Of course.
Well, Alex left my party because he saw Iris. Well, they knew each other years ago, and they were both very young. And he says he still loves her.
Well, it sounds more like a reason to stay.
Oh, no. Not at my house, not at my party. No, Alex didn't want me to see them together, and he says he didn't want to hurt me. Ever since he's seen Iris again, things will never be the same.
You and Alex Wheeler?
Yes. We've been lovers for many years.
I'm sorry, Vicky. I had no idea.
No one did. We thought it best for my career if we kept it quiet. Since Stryker and I were never divorced.
Is that why you left Stryker?
Partly. But by the time I met Alex, Stryker and I had grown so far apart. Stryker never knew it. I mean, Kevin, Stryker still doesn't know about Alex.
See, and you chose Alex?
I chose him. I would have given him anything.
Tell me something, Vicky. He meant so much to you. Why did you go back to Stryker?
Duty and affection, I guess. I've always cared a lot for Stryker, you know. And, after that terrible attack, when you told me, well, he had maybe a few months, at the most a couple of years to live, I wanted to make his remaining time happy for him.
Well, you're certainly doing that. You know, I don't think I've ever seen him so contented. That, so unselfish.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I wasn't so unselfish. I don't think I would have gone through with it if I'd known what a difference it would have made between Alex and me. I thought we'd go on seeing each other the way we always did. Both of us busy with our career and finding time for each other. He said it wasn't fair.
To Stryker. Of course, they've been friends for a long time.
Well, at first we saw each other,
And then Iris turned up and he changed. No, he's lost in this adolescent fantasy. And he said he's always loved her and his career and everything he's achieved was for her.
Lacey certainly hasn't tried to contact them. At least not while she's been around.
Are you sure?
Well, Rena would have said something about it, wouldn't
Kevin, maybe you're right. Oh, maybe.
Vicky, I'm home.
Please, Kevin, I don't want to cause Stryker any more pain.
Don't you worry. I won't say a thing that hurts me.
Yeah.
Looks like they're both caught up in trying to keep people happy.
Kevin, how are you? What are you doing here?
I want to talk to you about going home.
Well, I thought you and Rena decided to
Stryker,
stay
you know
another
I
week.
am not interested in that horse show. I don't know anything about them, and I couldn't care less.
But now Rena said to me...
Look, Rena made another decision, Stryker, without asking me. Just expecting me to be thrilled. I'm not caring whether I was thrilled or not.
Do you know how much this horse show means to her?
I think I know how much it means to you for her to stay here.
It sure does, son. It does. Oh, look, I know it's best for her to stay independent of me, but Bay City is so far away.
Okay, Stryker, I suppose I can hang on until Friday. But then we're going home. Will you back me up on that?
I sure will. Thank you, son.
Take the IB out tomorrow. Robinson can go home. Have to check Angelus and 26B. Ah, I did that already. Where's my head?
Hi, Coy.
Oh.
You through for the day?
Yes?
Great. I want you to give me your opinion on some office buildings out on West Time. I'm thinking of going into private practice. How about it?
Well, I could give you my opinion.
Great.
But it wouldn't be worth much. Bart, I'm just finishing up residency. I haven't the foggiest notion about anything in private offices.
It's not just the offices. Look, Coy, I know you've been meaning to take a postdoc in surgery, but since Mike's gone, there's not much chance of that. And, well, I thought you might consider becoming my partner.
Your partner?
You don't have to give me an answer right now. Just think about it. And in the meantime, how about a consultation? Dinner in exchange for your invaluable advice.
Oh, okay.
No, I couldn't.
Please, darling. It'll make me feel better if you take a little.
All right,
For a moment, I was afraid you would never touch anything I offered. I want to give you everything to make you forget the past. You can't know how miserably I feel knowing how much I've hurt you.
Do you think you could wipe away all the hurt? That you could take me to the top of the world building and show me all of Houston at my feet, and that would make up for all the empty years?
No. Now I've seen what I've done to you, Iris. I thought all these years that the worst thing I did was to lie to you. That all I had to do was to make that lie come true.
And then everything would be all right. Oh, Alex, I didn't want a genie who would perform wonders whenever I called. I wanted you.
Did you? Did you want Alex Wheeler of Boston or Alex Wheeler of Wheeler, Texas?
I didn't care. I wanted you. Wherever you came from, whatever you were.
No. But I wasn't worthy. Not enough. How could I take a princess and make her into a sailor's wife?
If you had been there, it would have been enough.
How could I take a handful of dreams? That wouldn't have been nearly enough.
I loved you. If you had told me, trusted me, I would have gone with you anywhere, done anything.
Would you have? I was afraid.
That I would reject you.
Yes, but more than that. I was afraid that you would be disillusioned. The light would fade from your eyes when you thought and saw that I wasn't what I said I was.
Oh, Alex.
But now, all these years, all these sufferings, it's gone now. I've built everything. I have everything, except...
Except what? A consort, is that what you lack?
No, not a consort. A queen.
No. I never wanted to be a queen. All I wanted was to be yours.
And I want to be yours, completely. I give you all my love, all my fidelity. I'll never want to hurt you again, ever. I swear it.
Even if that's so.
I know you can't forget. But can you forgive the past? Can you accept my promise of the future?
I don't know. This has all been too sudden. My head is whirling. First you reach up and stop my airliner in mid-flight, and then you bring me to this yacht, the same one where we met 25 years ago.
Oh, I know this all doesn't seem real to you, not yet.
Please, Alex, I need time.
Of course. You've got to get to know me again. But time is what we have, my darling. Time is ours at last. I'll call it, Captain. Have him weigh anchor.
No, Alex, I have to go. Please, have your car take me back to Houston.
But, darling,
You don't understand. So much has happened in all that time. I've been married. I have a son.
I know. Dennis, I didn't expect you to wait for me. I can't blame you for marrying his father. I know. Brian Bancroft. And that you're almost divorced. But it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that we are together.
It does.
No! No. This is the beginning. This is our first time. Let's start again.
Alex, we can't recapture the past. There's no way we can be the same.
Of course we can, my darling. Of course we can.
matter, Kevin? Forget your...
Iris. Rena, may I come in?
Oh, sure, honey, but what in the world are you doing here? You look like you've been to the far side of the moon and back.
Well, I almost feel as if I have.
What happened? Was you playing something?
Yes, by Alex Wheeler.
What?
Oh, Rena, may I use your phone? I have to call Bay City. They're expecting me.
Honey, that can't wait. You just tell me. Tell me what happened.
May I stay the night?
Stay the year. I don't care. Just tell me what Alex Wheeler did.
He had my plane stopped in mid-flight. We came back to Houston, and his chauffeur drove me to his yacht.
Oh, honey, that's incredible.
It was the same yacht, Rena. The same one we met on 25 years ago.
What did he say? Tell me every word.
Oh, no, I couldn't. We said so much. He told me why he left me in Saint-Tropez, that he'd lied about being rich. He'd come to Texas to make the lies true.
Well, he did that all right, honey, in spades. And he did it just for you. Oh, Iris.
He begged me to stay, to forgive him.
Oh, honey, what are you doing here? Why aren't you back on that boat?
It's not that simple. Alex doesn't understand. He doesn't know. Oh, no.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Mr. Wheeler, what are you doing in my father's house?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.